Hey guys, head over here at FICMRepair. So, I just got off the line with one of our customers who was on the fence, going back and forth, talking about fast systems, talking about whether to return, fuel bowl deletes, monitoring with the Edge Insight CTS3, and talking about the street diesel kit over and above the just the EGT probe. And the idea was, just a bunch of back and forth. And I hope you guys figured out that with us, there really are no right answers to most of this stuff. It's just a question of what's the logical path for you that makes the most sense. So in this particular case, the customer's like, look, I got, I want to say it's 145,000 miles on his rig. I want to say, but he's like, I know my fuel pump is not new. It could last another 100,000 miles. It could die tomorrow. I want to put a fast system in. And I'm like, okay, but I'm going to save up for that. Well, okay, but instead of doing that, why buy something to buy something? I'm just not a fan. Why don't you instead? And so this is where he landed. And he could have, if he landed up buying the fast system, hey, that's great, right? But for me, these things are made by people, right? We make mistakes every day. I'm sure that you folks do too. And so it's like, there are plenty of cases where somebody puts in insert brand name fuel pump here, and 30 days later, it's garbage. And by the way, in this case, it would cost you a set of injectors. So that's the reason why fuel pressure is so bloody important. So he had already placed an order for an Edge Insight CTS3, this particular guy, and it picked up an EGT probe, and so it's like, well, hold on a second. You were talking about fuel pressure. Why don't we just get you the street diesel kit from Edge? And that way you can monitor, exhaust gas temperatures, but you can also monitor fuel pressure. You can also monitor like low pressure oil or coolant pressure or whatever, because that's what the street diesel kit, affords. And he's like, well, yeah, but I want to buy that fast system. I was like, well, okay, but it's not a guarantee that you're not going to have a problem. And so fuel pumps don't just die. I've never seen one just go from perfect to dead. Commonly, and put your, if you had different experiences, put them in the comments. I want to know. But they don't normally go from perfect to dead. They fail over time. Now, it can be over a couple of days. It can be over a couple of weeks. It can be over a couple of months. But they don't just die. Your fuel pump is very seldom going to just leave you on the side of the road. The only exception to that is a fuel pump relay that fails inside the central junction box. And if that's the case, well, we've got a central junction box rebuild service. Or there's some YouTube videos out there on how to work around it if you're just on the side of the road and you need to get going. But in that case, you don't have low fuel pressure. You go from, having perfect fuel pressure to having no fuel pressure, which is not going to hurt your injectors because the truck's not going to start. So where we landed with him, and I just think it makes a whole lot of sense, and I think it bears remembering, please don't upgrade to upgrade. Upgrade because you're having a problem. And so, if his fuel pump had failed, I'm like, yeah, man, let me hook you up with a fast system. Or because you need to support it. You're going to buy a set of 205/30s or 100s or something, and you're just like, man, my fuel pump, stock fuel's not going to be able to keep up. Yeah, you're 100% right. Let me hook you up with a fast system with, by the way, we're able to return, fuel bowl delete, and sump too, for that matter. So as you're considering what path you want to go, just recognize how things work, what types of things fail with no warning, what types of things fail with lots of warning, and then act accordingly. In this case here, the customer decided to go with the Edge Insight CTS3, great monitor, with the street diesel kit, awesome. And so now he's going to have plenty of warning before he ever has a problem. And it might be that he doesn't have to buy a fast system for 150,000 more miles. Who only knows? And there's nothing wrong with that. So please don't spend money to spend money, okay? Just a Midwest kid over here. That's all. Well, kid. It's been a minute. You understand. FICMRepair.com. We're all in this together. Thanks.